Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, planes colliding on the taxiway, the rising stakes of the government shutdown, and remembering Jane Goodall. Breaking overnight, two planes colliding at LaGuardia Airport.
Their right wing clipped our nose.
After one jet experienced a hard landing, what passengers are saying this morning.
Shutdown, showdown. Millions of federal workers already forced to work without pay, including TSA agents and 2 million troops. The White House warning mass layoffs are imminent. Rachel Scott has the latest from Washington.
This morning, what one of President Trump's cabinet secretaries is claiming about associates of Jeffrey Epstein.
Did they see it and ignore it, or
no, they participated. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
How he's breaking with the FBI and Department of Justice as Republican lawmakers grapple with the push to have all the Epstein files released.
Breaking news for our viewers in the West. A deadly attack on a synagogue on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. This morning, the latest details on the car ramming and stabbing in Manchester.
Double murder investigation. 2 teenage girls killed. Isabella and Maria, best friends, who were hit by an SUV while riding an e-bike. The horrifying twist. Was it an accidental hit and run, or were they targeted? This morning, what we know about the 17-year-old suspect, who's related to the chief of police in the town over. Now, what the officer said overnight.
The life and legacy of Jane Goodall. This morning, remember the renowned conservationist and animal welfare advocate.
Day after day, in the sun and the wind and the rain, I climbed into the hills. This was where I was meant to be.
This morning, her lasting advice on how to make the world a better place.
And win in the wild or go home. The Yankees and the Red Sox going the distance, setting up a wild day of baseball as Shohei and the Dodgers sweep to move right on.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
A little funky music there. Good morning, America. Wild day of baseball last night. Actually stayed up and watched baseball. Yes, I did. Big, exciting. Let's go Yankees.
Extra cup of coffee for Michael this morning because we have a lot to get to, including a new critical test about heart health that everyone should know. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Taryn Narul is going to break it down.
But we're going to begin with that breaking news overnight. 2 Delta regional jets collided at low speeds on a taxiway at a major New York airport. Victor Oquendo is on the scene for us with the latest. Good morning to you, Victor.
Good morning, Robin. This happened just before 10 p.m. Both planes were taxiing. One had just landed, the other getting ready to take off when they suddenly collided here at LaGuardia.
Their right wing clipped our nose.
Overnight, 2 Delta regional jets carrying almost 100 people colliding at New York's LaGuardia Airport, injuring one and leaving both planes with extensive damage.
Just feel the thud, feel the plane jolt to the right.
You're like, oh my God, we're just in a plane crash.
One of Delta's jets was heading to Roanoke, Virginia. The other was taxiing to the gate, having just arrived from Charlotte.
We have damage to our windscreen.
The collision damaging the nose and windshield of one plane, but on the other, a wing almost entirely torn off. Confusion inside the cabin as flight attendants calm passengers.
We appreciate your patience.
William Lusk was on board the plane from Charlotte.
We were taking a right off of the main runway, and all of a sudden you feel the brakes go on, and you see this object coming across the left side of the plane, and you feel the front of the plane just kind of get dragged to the right, and you can physically feel like in your seat you moving to the right.
A flight attendant from the departing flight was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Passengers forced to get off the plane on the tarmac, then boarding a bus. Delta telling ABC News, Delta will work with all relevant authorities to review what occurred. As safety of our customers and people comes before all else, we apologize to our customers for the experience. Customers on that departing flight will be rebooked today. There were no impacts to airport operations. Thankfully, no major injuries. George.
Thank goodness for that. Okay, Victor, thanks very much. The latest now on the government shutdown. The Senate has officially adjourned after stalemating on government funding. No new votes scheduled until at least Friday. Until then, thousands of workers remain furloughed, many government services at a standstill, and President Trump is threatening to fire more federal workers. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill with the latest. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. We are now entering day 2 of a government shutdown, and there's still no breakthrough in these negotiations. And this morning, we are learning the Trump administration could start firing federal employees as soon as today. This morning, millions of federal workers already forced to work without pay, including TSA agents and some 2 million troops. The Trump administration ready to take it even further. Sources say Republicans were told layoffs could begin as early as today.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault, and it could also be other things.
The White House has already started targeting projects important to Democrats, freezing $18 billion in infrastructure funding for New York City, home of both Democratic leaders Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, and blocking $8 billion for energy projects in 16 states that voted Democrat in the last presidential election. President Trump this morning says he'll meet with the Office of Budget and Management Director Russ Vought to determine which programs will be temporarily or permanently cut, saying Democrats have handed him an unprecedented opportunity. Some Republicans warning all this could backfire and hurt bipartisan negotiations. You would caution against,
I'd caution against
firing people.
Response. I would caution against that because it makes it harder for us to get those last 5 Democrats on board with opening the government.
Democrats holding firm on their demands, calling on Republicans to reverse Medicaid cuts and prevent health insurance premiums from rising for millions.
It is not radical to say we want to prevent the average American family from getting these huge increases.
But Republicans say Democrats are holding the country hostage and are calling for moderates in the party to break ranks.
I think a lot of these rank-and-file Democrats are looking for an off-ramp, and so I'm hoping at some point they'll come to their senses and join us in voting to reopen the government.
The administration now splashing messages like this one across government websites, pinning the blame on, quote, radical left Democrats for the shutdown. Caught in the middle of the stalemate, millions of federal workers, 750,000 furloughed. Here in Washington, Willie Jo Price is a cafeteria worker at the Library of Congress. She says she won't receive back pay.
The food is high, the electric bills and the gas bill, all of these things went up. So I'm already juggling paycheck to paycheck.
You may not be able to make rent.
Right.
So as of right now, there is no end in sight. Congress is out of session today. The Senate returns tomorrow, the House on Monday. And it is important to note that even as these furloughs are happening, federal workers going without pay, these threats of mass firings throughout the federal workforce, lawmakers will still get their paychecks even during a government shutdown, Michael.
Yeah, there are real people on the other side of this shutdown. Rachel, thank you for pointing that out. We appreciate you. We're going to turn now to what one of President Trump's cabinet secretaries is claiming about a high-profile associates of Jeffrey Epstein. Jay O'Brien had the very latest on what the Commerce Chief said. Good morning to you, Jay.
Yeah, Michael, good morning. These new allegations made by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Jeffrey Epstein's one-time neighbor, stand in stark contrast to what the Department of Justice and the FBI have repeatedly said about the deceased convicted sex offender.
This morning, breaking with the FBI and Department of Justice, one of President Trump's cabinet secretaries claiming that high-profile associates of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein not only knew of his behavior, but some even participated.
Did they see it and ignore it, or
no? They participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was. You know, get a massage, and what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Epstein's former neighbor, recounting his alleged experience with the deceased billionaire to the New York Post, saying he believes Epstein may have traded alleged blackmail videos for a lesser prison sentence during his first criminal case in 2008.
I assume way back when they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence.
Lutnick describing Epstein as gross.
I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
His allegations in stark contrast to what FBI Director Kash Patel testified to last month.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday. that he trafficked to other individuals.
This as Republican leaders on Capitol Hill grapple with a push to have all the Department of Justice's Epstein files released. President Trump, who was friends with Epstein in the 1990s but later had a falling out, has called the effort to release the files a hoax created by his political rivals.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats and some stupid Republicans.
Now, that push to force a vote in the House of Representatives to release the FBI's Epstein files, it needs just one more signature. And there is a new Democratic member who just won a special election in Arizona, and she says she will sign that petition. But she hasn't been sworn in yet because House Republican leaders canceled the chamber's session this week ahead of that looming government shutdown. Robin.
But once she is sworn in, it'll be a different story. All right, Jay, thank you. Now to the unprecedented pledge by the president to defend Qatar from an armed attack. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, is tracking this for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. And this is a remarkable security guarantee, tying the U.S. closer to the small but wealthy Arab nation, a move that could include the U.S. coming to Qatar's defense militarily. As President Trump pushes for peace in Gaza, the White House is now giving unprecedented security guarantees to one of the countries negotiating an end to the war.
I want to thank Qatar, its leadership, and the Emir. He's a fantastic person. I think, I'm going to be his public relations man because I know him differently than a lot of people know him. But he wants peace.
Signing an executive order, Trump says any armed attack on Qatar will be considered a threat to the peace and security of the U.S., and saying the U.S. military might come to Qatar's defense. That in the event of an attack, the U.S. will take all lawful and appropriate measures, including diplomatic, economic, and, if necessary, military, to defend interests in the United States and the state of Qatar. Language that appears to give Qatar the same protection NATO allies get from the U.S., though the impact is unclear because Congress has not weighed in. It comes after Israel earlier this week expressed deep regret for striking targets inside Qatar, targeting Hamas leadership during hostage negotiations. The attack seen on these videos circulating online.
Oh my God!
And it comes months after Iran fired missiles at an American military base inside Qatar. This new executive order shining a spotlight on the close relationship between the president, his family's businesses, and the Qatari royal family. Last spring, Trump visited Qatar on a trip through the Middle East. That visit raising eyebrows as the president was preparing to accept a massive 7478 jumbo jet, so opulently designed it's known as a flying palace.
I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much.
The Qatari royal family gifting the Pentagon the luxurious $400 million plane to be retrofitted to serve as Air Force One for the remainder of Trump's presidency, a process that would likely carry a hefty price tag.
I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane.
The plane would then be donated to Trump's presidential library just before he leaves office. But the deal is unlike any other, which has drawn serious questions about its legality. The president's family also does business with Qatar and announced a new luxury golf resort north of Doha, a project which costs billions and has drawn ire from ethics watchdogs. Now, critically, these new security guarantees that the president signed are not legally binding. Trump is acting unilaterally here, and that, of course, is a key difference from NATO guarantees. But it means that the president, without congressional approval, is promising something as serious as potential U.S. military engagement. George.
Lots of questions remain. Okay, Mary, thanks very much. There's other breaking news overseas. A car and stabbing attack at a Manchester synagogue on Yom Kippur. That's in England. Lama Hassan is in London with the latest. Good morning, Lama.
Yeah, and good morning to you, George. A truly terrifying scene this morning outside a synagogue in Manchester, Northern England. Witnesses say a man driving a car ramming into the members of the public before attacking with a knife and killing at least 2 people. Police declaring a major incident. A firearms police officer shooting who police believe is the suspect. A bomb disposal unit is on the scene because suspicious items were found near the suspect. Manchester's mayor is saying that the immediate danger appears to be over, but also warning members of the public to avoid the area. And this, of course, happening on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, Yom Kippur. The Prime Minister Keir Starmer cut short his trip with European leaders to chair an emergency meeting. An urgent investigation is now underway. Michael.
And we hope they'll be okay, Lama. Thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to the Major League Baseball playoffs and the wild card action overnight. It was exciting. Sam and Lara are here with that. Good morning, you two.
Raising the stakes for sports coverage. Tag team sports.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, the final day of the wild card round. And true to its name this year, it's shaping up to be a wild one. 3 games on the schedule starting this afternoon. And guys, this goes from afternoon all the way to late night. 3 teams will be advancing and 3 will be going home. The Cleveland Guardians forcing a deciding Game 3 with the Detroit Tigers. Cleveland scoring 5 runs in an 8th inning outburst. Didn't want to leave this game early to break open a 1-1 tie. Bo Naylor's 3-run homer was a big blow. All right, San Diego Padres, by the way, and I just like to say this because I like to say this, with their backs against the wall after a Game 1 loss.
Wow, Sam.
Chicago and now they're headed to a do-or-die Game 3. Manny Machado's 2-run blast, powering the Padres to a 3-0 win to even up the series. Now, let's go to Lara with all the action from what undoubtedly is the biggest rivalry of the season.
Can I just say I'm so proud of you? This is really impressive.
How he cracks himself up.
I know. But like really owning the sports, and I'm going to do it as well, Sam.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that toss. I caught it, and here we go. It comes down to tonight for the Yanks or the Red Sox in their battle for the wild card spot. After losing a painful Game 1, the Yanks battled back last night, starting with this home run by Ben Rice. Yes, she's a beauty. And then with the score tied at 3-all in the 8th, 2 outs on the board, Austin Wells hits a single that allows Jazz Chisholm to score all the way from first base, giving the Yanks the 1 run.
But the head first slide.
Yes! That's all they needed to seal the deal. Well done, Judges Awards. And the Yankees win 4-3, tying up the series, forcing a Game 3 tonight. The winner advances to play the American League #1 seed, the Toronto Blue Jays. And then over in the National League, the defending World Series champions, the LA Dodgers.
Get the broom out.
Yes, they swept. That's right, Robin. They swept the Reds last night. Now they head to Philly to face the Phillies. That's on Saturday. Winner of that series goes to the NLCS. That is Sam and Lara Sports.
Every now and again, I got to throw it a little. Let you know.
Well, you got to tell me what Sam was doing during the
I
clean
don't know
sweep stuff.
what get the broom out meant. What does that mean?
Oh,
I was
you
asking.
get
You get
sweep.
swept.
Oh,
Yeah, you
got
sweep
it.
the series.
Got it.
Oh, my. Hey, listen, we're getting there. We're getting there.
It's baby steps.
Baby steps.
No,
Sports teams unite.
Nothing better than learning on live TV.
Yeah, is that a bad idea?
We're going to switch gears later.
Okay.
Coming up, the
man.
search for answers after 2 New Jersey teenage girls were killed, hit by an SUV while riding an e-bike. A 17-year-old boy was arrested. We have the latest on that.
Also had a look at the life and legacy of that beautiful woman, Jane Goodall, the renowned conservationist and animal welfare advocate. How her work with chimpanzees changed the way we view the animal kingdom.
And Will Reeve is filling the holiday spirit. Hey, Will.
Hey, what's up? I'm at the Yankee Stadium of Pumpkin Farms here because it is Halloween season and Americans are looking to spend a record amount, but they're dealing with scary high prices. So I'll tell you what brands are doing about that and got your pumpkin forecast, guys.
You all stay there. We're just getting started. We'll be right back.
Back here on GMA, Swifties definitely are ready for it. Taylor Swift's 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, drops at midnight. Taylor's 3-day theatrical event release party of a showgirl is projected to bring in $40 million this weekend and give Swift her second #1 box office debut.
So it is a movie of her making the album?
Basically, yes, you'll see one of the videos and then the behind the scenes of making.
I'm just testing your Swiftiness.
And lyric videos. I have tickets for a 3 p.m. showing tomorrow.
Okay. Wow, you're already ready to go.
That's
First
my
new
wife.
at 7:30. Take a look at the moment. Part of a 20-story apartment building in New York City collapsed. Officials believe a gas explosion from the building's boiler caused the chimney structure to collapse. Incredibly, no injuries and no apartments or nearby buildings were damaged, but the explosion raised questions about the safety of New York public housing. Also, Israeli forces intercepted a flotilla of boats attempting to bring aid to Gaza. More than 150 activists, including Greta Thunberg, were detained. Israel accused the flotilla of provocation, asking it to change course because it was entering an active combat zone.
And Elon Musk is now worth $500 billion, making him the first person to reach that milestone. The SpaceX founder's net worth has skyrocketed as Tesla's stock has climbed in recent months. He also earned a considerable amount from his early investment in PayPal. If he continued at this pace, Musk could become the world's first trillionaire by March 2033.
We're going to turn now to a mystery in a small New Jersey town after 2 teenage girls were killed in a hit and run. A 7-year-old suspect is behind bars, charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Rhiannon Alley here with the story. Good morning, Rhiannon.
Hey, good morning, George. Yeah, this seemed like a tragic accident. 2 girls were headed home from a school event and they were killed in a hit and run. But now another teen has been charged with their murder. This morning, the urgent murder investigation into the deaths of 2 New Jersey teenage girls. Prosecutors say 17-year-old Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas were struck by a black SUV just before 5:30 Monday night while driving an e-bike down this residential street. The driver allegedly fled the scene but was later apprehended. It was originally reported to be a tragic hit-and-run accident, but 2 days later, authorities arresting a 17-year-old boy, charging him with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of the best friends.
I think the whole community really joined together and, provided whatever evidence that the police needed.
After news spread, friends of the victims coming forward saying there had been issues between the suspect and at least one of the teen girls. And in an unusual twist, the suspect is a relative of the chief of police of a neighboring town. The chief, who happens to be a neighbor of Salas's, issuing a statement Wednesday night saying, "I do unequivocally condemn the actions of the accused, and like you, I demand that he face the consequences of his alleged actions in a court of law." The victims' mothers attending a vigil for the girls.
They're both very sweet and compassionate people.
As friends and neighbors paid tribute to the lives cut short. That chief from the neighboring town also said one of the girls was his neighbor, so he watched her grow up. He said the whole neighborhood feels violated and that they are grieving with the victims. That teen has been charged as a juvenile, but authorities have not ruled out changing that, guys. This is just a really tragic story.
Oh, all the way around, all the way around. Rhiannon, thank you. We're going to turn now to the life and legacy of Jane Goodall. Her research into chimpanzees brought her international fame and gave the world its first real insight into humans' closest relative in the animal world. And they're going to bring us more, Lara.
Yes, I am, Robin. So Jane Goodall began her primate research when she was 26 years old. She never stopped working to make our world a better place. She passed away yesterday at age 91 while on a conservation speaking tour in California.
This morning, the world is celebrating the remarkable and courageous life of renowned conservationist and animal welfare advocate, Dr. Jane Goodall.
Day after day, in the sun and the wind and the rain, I climbed into the hills. This was where I was meant to be.
In 1960, at just 26 years old, Goodall began her lifelong study of chimpanzees, living with them for decades in Tanzania. She would become a pioneer, credited with discovering just how similar chimpanzees are to all of us, as she described in the National Geographic documentary, Jane.
The more I learned, the more I realized how like us they were.
Among all of her research, it was the study of their human behaviors that fascinated Goodall most. She studied the bonds between mother and infant, gave them names, not numbers, and proved that primates too can practice compassion and altruism, changing the way we view the animal kingdom. It was a message she would share her entire life.
I got to know them better and better. They became almost like family members.
All in the face of critics who tried to discredit her because Goodall was young and female, addressing those early notions with our John Quinones in 1993.
Fragile and blonde with huge green eyes and a tip-tilted nose, she looks as if she should be pouring tea or watering the roses instead of prowling in the bush.
So?
You surprised them.
I surprised them.
In 2014, she became an ambassador for Disney Nature, speaking with our Michael Strahan.
I'm just curious, do you ever miss living among the chimpanzees?
Well, I miss living in the forest.
And chimpanzees, you know, people say, your favorite animal. They're not my favorite animal. They're much too human.
Goodall was devoted to spreading a message of peace and understanding to young people. And in 2022, Mattel honored her with her own Barbie doll.
I never, ever went out without binoculars. Girls don't want just to be film stars and things like that, but many of them, like me, want to be out in nature, studying animals. And so a Barbie doll, who's Jane, is a super idea.
Jane Goodall.
And just this year, Goodall received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Joe Biden. And decades into her career, she never stopped delivering her message of peace and compassion. It was her belief that small change creates lasting impact. A message that kept Goodall fulfilled until her passing.
We wouldn't be here without Dr. Goodall.
On the day she died, Goodall was scheduled to speak to a group of thousands of young children impacted by the devastating California wildfires, inspiring them to kick off an initiative to plant 5,000 trees. That event becoming a memorial in her honor. And for those wanting to make an impact of their own, Goodall leaves us with this advice.
If you think globally, you become filled with gloom. But if you take a little piece of this whole picture, my piece, our piece, this is what I can do here. I'm making a difference. And hi, wow, they're making a difference over there, and so are they, and so are they. And so gradually the pieces get filled in, and the world is a better place because of you.
Wow. Such beautiful advice. Yeah. National Geographic will screen the feature documentary Jane on Sunday, October 5th at 8 p.m., followed by Jane Goodall, The Hope, at 10 p.m. Jane is also currently available to screen on Disney Plus and Hulu, guys.
Wow, what a life.
Yeah. What a wonderful piece of advice she leaves us with.
Well, I wish that all the pieces will fit in.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Lara. Now with some scary good deals for Halloween, Americans are projected to spend a record $13.1 billion this spooky season. Will Reeve is shopping for the perfect pumpkin in Hillsdale, New Jersey. Good morning, Will.
Yeah, Michael, good morning. I think I found it. It is a crisp and cool fall day here at Demarest Farms in northern New Jersey. And American consumers and companies are feeling a chill in the economy, but brands are breaking out all the tricks to scare up record sales.
I put a spell on you. And now you're mine.
This morning, major brands hoping to channel hocus pocus and scare up huge sales with their Halloween tricks and treats.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
According to the National Retail Federation, spending this Halloween season is expected to reach a record $13.1 billion. That's over $1 billion more than last year. Major fast food brands looking to delight with fright.
We'd like to try the Monster menu.
Burger King unveiling its first ever Monster menu. Items include vampire nuggets. McDonald's bringing back Boo Buckets.
It's the sweetest treat of all.
And Wendy's offering Frosty Frights kids meals. And when it comes to decor, brands are going bigger and creepier than ever.
When gasps turn to whispers, and whispers into shouts, even the youngest trick-or-treaters know what horror lurks about.
Home Depot and Lowe's battling out with their giant skeletons. And Target offering Louis the Pumpkin Ghoul. And as inflation and tariffs weigh on consumers' minds, discounts are already dropping, even at the beginning of October. Louis is now $54 off, and Lowe's 20-foot colossal skeleton is $70 off.
Retailers know that shoppers have been shopping early, and so they've been ready with their inventory, with their sales and deals earlier in the season.
Oh, great pumpkin, where are you?
And as Americans try to find that perfect Charlie Brown pumpkin, there's good news for consumers. The average price of this Halloween staple is dropping. According to a new report from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, pumpkin prices are down over 10% from 2024. An extra-large pumpkin now going for under $6, compared to over $8.50 last year.
Well, this year we saw excellent crops, bumper crops really for pumpkins in a lot of the country. And because we've seen such a growth in the supply of pumpkins and a constraint on when we can sell those pumpkins, farmers across the country are looking for ways to cut down the price to be able to move those pumpkins a little bit quicker.
I don't know how much this pumpkin here costs, but it's a big boy. This is the one I would pick for a jack-o'-lantern if you were to make that. That's always a great Halloween tradition. I've got some tips for you though. If you want to make your jack-o'-lantern, first you're going to want to clean this thing with some antibacterial because you never know what's going to be on here. Then you want to scoop all the gunk out that's inside. You can get rid of the gross stuff, but you can roast or plant the seeds. And then you also want to make sure that you do not use real candles because that's dangerous and also could rot out the pumpkin faster. And we consulted the Old Farmer's Almanac for that, guys, which seems fitting because I'm in the middle of a pumpkin farm.
Yes, you are, Will.
Scoop out the gunk.
Welcome to October.
I was just, scoop out the gunk.
It's a gorgeous shot, and that is a real beauty. You should bring that one home, Will.
I like that.
Yes,
Grab
agreed.
a couple.
This thing's heavy. I'm putting it down.
All right, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Now with our next stop in our series, 50 States in 50 Weeks, America the Beautiful. Maggie Rulli, who makes everything better for me, is in Vermont this morning. Hey, Maggie, what's going on?
Hey, Sam. Well, it's hard to get better than Vermont, am I right? Gorgeous fall foliage, maple syrup, and yes, adorable cows. We're here at the Von Trapp Family Lodge and Resort. And yes, guys, it is the same Von Trapp family from The Sound of Music. After they fled Austria, they eventually settled right here in Stowe, Vermont. We're going to catch up with the granddaughter of the real Maria later, and she'll tell us why this place was so special for her grandmother.
Oh,
guys, that's coming up.
It is beautiful. Beautiful, Maggie.
Yeah.
Wow, what a day to be there. Coming up, Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Tara Narula is here with details on the new tests you need to know about concerning your heart health. We'll be back.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Breaking overnight. Two planes collide at LaGuardia Airport.
Their right wing clipped our nose.
After one jet experienced a hard landing. What passengers are saying this morning. Shutdown showdown. Millions of federal workers already forced to work without pay, including TSA agents and 2 million troops. The White House warning mass layoffs are imminent.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
And Maggie Rulli is live from the Green Mountain State, home of the real Von Trapp family, made famous in The Sound of Music.
The hills fill my heart.
Bringing us the state's sweet treats and undeniable beauty for our 50 States in 50 Weeks tour.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
We're smashing into Thursday with a duo of our dreams back on the big screen together and here live. Emily Blunt.
I just need you to let me in.
And Dwayne Johnson like you've never seen him before.
Are you ready?
Yes.
We are ready for their emotional, action-packed new film, The Smashing Machine. As we say, good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
They are quite a powerful duo,
no
and we
question.
cannot wait to catch up with Dwayne and Emily. Also, Maggie Rulli, you saw her, she's in Vermont. It's the next stop in our 50 States in 50 Weeks series, counting down to our nation's 250th birthday. And she has that great crowd there in Stowe to welcome us. And, just so beautiful time of the year.
Yes, it is. Also ahead, Dr. Tara Narula is here with the test cardiologists want everyone to have and how it can help fight cardiovascular disease.
First, look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the breaking news overnight. Two Delta regional jets collided at low speeds on a taxiway at LaGuardia Airport. I want to go back to Victor Akendo. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, George. Both of those planes were taxiing when they collided. Emergency vehicles rushing to the tarmac, and this morning we're hearing from passengers on board describing the chaotic scene.
Their right wing clipped our nose.
Overnight, two Delta regional jets carrying almost 100 people colliding at New York's LaGuardia Airport, injuring one and leaving both planes with extensive damage.
You're like, oh my God, we were in a plane crash.
One of Delta's jets was heading to Roanoke, Virginia. The other was taxiing to the gate, having just arrived from Charlotte.
We have damage to our windscreen.
The collision damaging the nose and windshield of one plane, but on the other, a wing almost entirely torn off.
You feel the front of the plane just kind of get dragged to the right, and you can physically feel like in your seat, you moving to the right.
A flight attendant from the departing flight was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Passengers forced to get off the plane on the tarmac then boarding a bus. Delta telling ABC News, Delta will work with all relevant authorities to review what occurred as safety of our customers and people comes before all else. We apologize to our customers for the experience.
Passengers who were on that departing flight will be rebooked today. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries. Michael?
Yeah, thankfully there weren't. Victor, thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to the latest on the government shutdown. Thousands of workers have been furloughed. Many government services are at a standstill, and American families are caught in the middle. Let's go back to our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, on Capitol Hill. Good morning again, Rachel.
Michael, good morning to you again. And we are now entering day 2 of a government shutdown. Still no breakthrough in negotiations. And this morning we are learning the Trump administration could start mass layoffs as early as today. Typically during government shutdowns, workers are furloughed, not fired. But the president warning that they could move forward with mass layoffs and cuts to programs that Democrats really care about. The White House has already started targeting some programs, freezing $18 billion in infrastructure funding for New York, which is home to both Democratic leaders. The administration has also blocked $8 billion for energy projects in 16 states that voted Democrat in the last presidential election. Democrats call that intimidation. They are holding firm on their demands, saying they will not agree to fund the government unless Medicaid cuts are reversed and expiring Obamacare subsidies are extended so health care premiums don't go up for millions of Americans. Caught in the middle of all this back and forth, 750,000 federal workers that have been furloughed, as many as 2 million troops that will go unpaid. Congress is out of session today. The Senate returns tomorrow. But even as these workers are furloughed and these threats of mass layoffs continue, lawmakers will still be getting their paychecks, Robin.
As you said, so many are caught in the middle of all this. Rachel, our thanks to you. Now we have a GMA health alert. The American College of Cardiology is recommending that a new test become a standard alongside cholesterol testing in determining heart health. We're joined now by our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, who is also a practicing cardiologist. So tell us about this study from this group and why they feel it should be part of blood work.
Well, I was very excited to read this yesterday as a cardiologist, and I think it's going to be game-changing for how we practice and for what patients should be asking for. So this was a statement that really talks about chronic, low-grade silent inflammation being a real driver of cardiovascular disease. In particular, that inflammation is responsible in large part, for the formation of plaque in our blood vessels, for the potential rupture of that plaque that causes things like heart attack and stroke, and even heart failure. So we need to do a better job at treating inflammation and screening for it. And so this statement really highlights the use of a simple, widely available, low-cost blood test, one that's been around for over 70 years. It's called the high sensitivity CRP. CRP is a protein produced by the liver. It is a marker of inflammation. It does not cause inflammation, but it tells us how widespread it is in your body. So if your high sensitivity CRP level comes back at less than 1, you're in a low risk category. Anywhere from 1 to 3 is sort of moderate or average risk, and above 3 is considered high risk. About 40 to 50% of Americans are walking around with an average or moderate level of CRP, that 1 to 3 range, 15 to 20% of adolescents. And so for a lot of people who think my cholesterol is well controlled, I'm in a good situation, this tells us, the studies have shown that even if your LDL, your bad cholesterol, is well controlled, if you have a high CRP, you are at risk, is a great predictor of future cardiovascular risk. And in fact, for those individuals who have known cardiovascular disease, research has shown that CRP may be a better predictor of future heart attack and stroke risk than even the LDL cholesterol.
But what if you have a high level of this protein? Is there anything they can do to control it?
So researchers are looking at how do we stop the pathways of inflammation. They're looking at different drugs to do that. But in the meantime, what's in your hands? So lifestyle is a big way to reduce inflammation. So diets like the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, that focus on legumes, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish, those omega-3s, that's important. Reducing red and processed meat, refined carbohydrates, avoiding smoking, maintaining a healthy weight, and exercising. There are studies, as I said, they're looking at medications, but statins, we talk about for cholesterol, lower CRP. And so even if you have, again, a well-controlled LDL, regardless of what it is, you may want to be intensifying or taking statins to reduce your CRP.
It comes back to lifestyle. And sometimes people are so dismissive and going like, oh, we hear this all the time. But people have to realize the difference it can make.
You have so much power in your own hands for how you live.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Narula. Appreciate it.
Coming up in our GMA morning menu, the anonymous chef and social media sensation giving an inside look on restaurants.
Also had lifestyle expert that we have here with some great beauty products to celebrate Hispanic and Latin American culture.
Plus, best-selling author Nicholas Sparks is here to talk about his new book that he wrote with a famous filmmaker. And Larry and Sam are with two special guests. Hey!
Yeah, look who just rolled in.
Just in time.
We are going toe-to-toe this morning with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. They're here to talk about their new film. It's called The Smashing Machines.
It's already being called a knockout, or some would say smashing. And so are these two, by the way, and they're here live.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
So good to be here.
Yeah, it's coming up on GMA. Don't miss it. Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That is a beautiful shot of New York City, and we're back. Our GMA cover story. Dwayne Johnson and Academy Award nominee Emily Blunt, they are here and they're stepping into the ring for the new film, The Smashing Machine, an emotional and powerful drama about UFC Hall of Fame fighter Mark Kerr. It is great to have them both here, and let's give it up. Yeah. Superstars in the building.
Wow.
You know, you two are so great together. It's always great to have you here on the show. And you know, Dwayne, we've never seen you in a role like this. And 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival. The accolades are coming and the award buzz is coming in. So for you, how does it feel to get this kind of feedback?
Just incredibly surreal to get this kind of feedback. That ovation in Venice, as you see, I'm very emotional.
You're allowed to be. You're allowed to be.
I'm trying to pull it together, but that was special, and that was this film, Smashing Machine, and this role, and what it represents. It changed my life, and so I wanted something. I wanted to be challenged. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to step out of a comfort zone that I was in and what that meant. And I was very lucky to have our writer-director, Benny Safdie, who believed in me, and also, one of my best friends here, and Emily Blunt, who believed and encouraged me to as well.
Yeah, because Emily, talk about that, because you really gave him some, a little bit of a pep talk and really inspired him.
Several over the years?
Yes.
Checks in the mail.
But for this particular role, because...
Well, I just felt that it's a daunting thing to step into the unknown in this way, but I think maybe it's easier for Benny Safdie and I to know what DJ is capable of. I think it's sometimes harder for us to realize that ourselves, but I just felt he had this reservoir of incredible life experience that could be funneled into a role that demanded all of him, and I just thought he was astonishing.
But your role was astonishing as
Thank
well.
you.
You're
I
getting a lot of
appreciate
buzz.
it. I really adored playing Dawn and this very complex, eruptive relationship that they had,
Let's show everybody a little bit of it.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's totally okay. Tell them it's natural reaction.
Та нічого, це природна реакція.
My head was down there, my face is down there.
Знаєте що, голова дуже постраждала моя.
Let's all get a picture, yeah?
Yeah. Let's do it together.
Let's do it, yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Can you do a picture? Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Yeah, Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, come on.
Look at you two guys. The best ones. Two of the best ones. That's it.
Thank you. Great fight.
So much in that scene.
Right there.
Yeah.
A whole lot in that scene. But boy, you disappear into this role. All those prosthetics. I can't believe Dwayne Johnson can put on 30 pounds of muscle.
He was too skinny.
Too skinny.
He was looking a little weedy before this.
Tell us about Mark Kerr and how your own experience in professional wrestling sort of informed this.
With professional wrestling, I had a ring generalship of just understanding timing, how many steps it takes to get to the ropes and things like that, and if I'm in there with an opponent. But professional wrestling, so much different than MMA. Mark Kerr was one of the founding godfathers of MMA at a time where it was really the wild, wild west. And Mark Kerr had, at that time, had gone through his demons and his struggles, and he overdosed twice. He's lucky to be alive, but he is a real reflection, I think, of what happens when someone gets knocked down, gets back up, has resilience, holds on to faith, and years later, he's still with us, and his ex-wife who Emily plays, is still with us too. They have a beautiful kid, Bryce, and Benny very early wanted to tell not a fight story, but a life story. And you see that in The Smashing Machine. And for me, the transformation was 22 prosthetics, over 30 pounds that I had to put on, which is a lot of weight.
Oh my God.
You understand.
But back in the day, I put on 32, but it didn't look like you.
The Mark Kerr had a different kind of body.
How did you do it? Was it just milkshakes?
No, mine was like Pizza Hut, McDonald's, whatever fast food out there. That was my dietitian.
But it wasn't just a physical transformation. I mean, we've gotten to know you, not as well as others around you, but you're polished, you're put together. The character is anything but.
Yeah.
He's messy. So how were you able to get your head around that?
Just spending a lot of time with Mark, and there's
Listening to sad music.
listening to sad music, and just going to those, thinking about spending a lot of time with Mark and understanding, this idea that no one can really relate to what it's like to being the greatest fighter on the planet. At one time, Mark Kerr was the greatest fighter on the planet and undefeated, dominant and feared. But we can all relate to pressure and what that's like, and having to deliver day in and day out in your relationships and job. And a lot of us, some don't deal with pressure that well, and some deal with it decently. But Mark again is that reflection of all of us, by the way, because we all understand that pressure, and also we all know what it's like to be in a relationship where at times it's hard. And you say things to the person that you love. You say these things, and you can wind up hurting them. But at the end of the day,
what? Hold on.
You looked at me, and it was like, "Am I talking too much?"
No, you give a great answer here.
I was about to ask. I was like, well, you two have worked together so much, and like say one of your best friends.
You looked at me with like fear.
I looked at you like this is your time to talk. I'm serving you up.
I didn't know what my in was.
We've been doing this for 10 years.
Waiting for this springboard, and I was like, "When's he
It's called live TV, guys. That's it."
Okay,
I'm
Emily.
sorry, you were saying.
Emily, I'm gonna let you talk right now.
This is method acting right here.
I have to ask you, The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yeah.
Whoa! We've never had that happen before. So, how's filming going? And
Very good.
Is there anything you could tell us?
What do you think?
I think the no to the part 2.
Yes.
You can't tell us anything, but you can tell us how filming is going.
It's awesome.
Okay.
This is TV gold. Can we tell folks, The Smashing Machine
Yes.
is smashing, and it's in theaters nationwide tomorrow. And you can see a conversation with the real Mark Kerr and the film's director, Benny, that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
Later this afternoon, they're going to join us on GMA3. But right now, hey, thank you both so much for being
Thank you
here.
for having us.
Love seeing you again.
And now to our celebration of Hispanic and Latin American cultures. Lifestyle expert Millie Almodovar is here to show us some of her favorite beauty products. You know we love when you come.
Oh my God, thank you guys.
I
love these because they're all from businesses with Hispanic and Latina founders. Yes. Good morning, Miss Millie.
Good morning.
I want to jump right in. This one is very cool. This is the first ever Dominican hair brand sold at Ulta.
Yes.
Why do you love this curling cream?
Okay, as you can see, my hair is curly.
Yep.
This was created by 2 Dominican sisters. They wanted to uplift their community and just simplify their curl routine.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, this product is incredible. When I use it, first of all, it has mango butter. Mango butter is amazing because it helps reduce breakage. You've got hibiscus. Hibiscus defines.
That's gotta
adds
smell
shine.
great.
Yes, I was just about to tell you, smell this. It smells incredible. And I love it because it defines.
I can smell it already.
I love it because it defines my curls, but it doesn't,
doesn't
weigh
make
my hair
because I have
down.
naturally curly hair too, so I'm really looking forward to trying it.
Yes, I want you to try this.
I'm looking forward to it.
And guys, the
Well,
price.
your hair looks great, so if you're using it, it works.
Yeah, it's not that like crunchy curl.
No.
So it's really soft. Well,
Yes.
congrats to the, is it sisters?
Yes, sisters.
Amazing,
And $14, guys, how affordable.
Yes.
All right, now
Okay.
this is not what I expected when I heard dry shampoo, because I think of it as being like
really
a spray
excited about
thing.
No,
so
no.
what is this?
This is a ceremony. It's the dry shampoo gong, which means with arrowroot powder proof for balanced scalp. It was created by a woman named Baba Rivera, okay? She really created the line because she couldn't find any products to help her own damaged hair. And she wanted more Latin representation into beauty, so she created this amazing line that has won numerous awards. First of all, this product alone has won 3 beauty awards this year alone, including the Allure, okay?
I'm all over this.
It is a dry shampoo, but it looks like you said, it looks like it's a powder proof.
It's a powder proof,
It has
so no aerosol.
No aerosol.
No alcohol.
No, right. And the great thing is it has arrowroot. It has a Brazilian clay, so it's going to just knock off all that grease and that sweat that you have.
Yep.
Yes. And it also has Mexican aloe vera, so it adds shine to your hair.
I am writing that
Don't
one
let
down
the
as
small
well.
size fool you. You get 167
wow.
uses from that. Yes.
Amazing.
Okay, next we've got Pippa Skincare. This is the Start Young Bundle gift set. Started by a Venezuelan mom named Christina Kubler. Her tweens were into skincare, but
aren't they all?
Yeah, right. But the ingredients were so hard, so she created her own line. First of all, can I spray this on you?
Let's go.
This is the Glow Go Mist. It has rose water. It has niacinamide in it.
Sam,
yes,
glowing.
Am I glowing?
Yes,
I'm slightly damp.
You're glowing.
But glowing.
Yeah. Yes, I'm glowing too. Yeah, doesn't it smell good too?
It does smell nice. Like it woke me right up.
Yes, and you've got the squeaky clean cleanser. It has a niacinamide. It has aloe vera. It has papaya seed extract.
I love that it's a starter kit for tweens.
Yeah,
really thoughtfully made.
And no sulfates, and no parabens, and no hormone disruptors in this.
Tell me about the lip balm.
Yes, this is the Made. It's a revived lip balm for barrier repair, created by a Dominican and Puerto Rican lady by the name of Denise Vasi.
Okay.
Now, the interesting is Denise Vasi was seeing all these innovations in skincare, but nothing in lip repair. Everything was just giving you like a temporary relief. Guys, first of all, feel this. How beautiful.
You go for it.
How beautiful is the packaging, right? But she has,
very elegant.
She has amazing.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but she has amazing ingredients. You have bioactive complexes in here. You got ceramides.
I'm bioactive.
Collagen peptides, plant stem cells. These are going to help repair, restore, and hydrate your lip barrier. And also comes in 2 shades. You've got Vow, which is a beautiful nude, and then you've got Reckon, which is a gorgeous plum. Guys, is this not beautiful?
It's and it feels so good. I put on plum. Yeah. We got to do this quick one.
Last but not least, Shades by Shan, the foundation. You've got 40 beautiful shades here. 16-hour wear.
Representing every skin color.
Yeah, it has aloe vera in it, so it's super, super hydrating. Has her Flex technology, so literally when you put it on, it looks like your skin, but just better.
Amazing. Ecuadorian
founder. Yes, Ecuadorian founder.
I love all of these products. I'm
We love having you, Millie.
And Millie, your energy's
all
fantastic.
right, you can shop for all of these products on GoodMorningAmerica.com. Millie will be back tomorrow on GMA3, so that's tomorrow on 3 with home products. Coming up, we're going to visit the Von Trapp family. Yes, it's that Von Trapp family lodge. Our 50 weeks, 50 states
in 50
tour
weeks.
reaches Vermont.
The hills are alive.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
Well, that ain't New York City. That is beauty. Wow. Welcome back to GMA with our series 50 States in 50 Weeks, America the Beautiful, counting down to our nation's 250th birthday. And the next stop, as we know, is Vermont, where Maggie Rulli is bringing us to a special place in Stowe. It's some unexpected history for some folks. Good morning again, Maggie.
Hey, Robin, good morning again. And it is a beautiful blue sky, crisp fall morning here in Vermont. But Robin, like you mentioned, Vermont is about more than just this absolutely gorgeous scenery. It is also rich in history. And where I'm standing right now is really special. We're at the Von Trapp Family Lodge and Resort. And yes, guys, it is that Von Trapp family from The Sound of Music, only their story is very real and it happened right here.
Images of Julie Andrews and the Von Trapp family frolicking over the Swiss Alps forever live in the minds of Sound of Music fans worldwide.
I am 16.
The movie's so popular, as I saw firsthand in Salzburg, where they're celebrating the movie's 60th anniversary all year long.
What better way to follow in the footsteps of Maria than with the official Sound of Music bus tour? No, a deer, a female deer.
And while aspects of the 1965 Rodgers and Hammerstein film are accurate, the true story of the Von Trapp family is nestled in the hills of Stowe, Vermont.
Welcome to the Von Trapp Family Lodge and Resort.
Christina Von Trapp-Frame is the director and executive vice president of her family's resort. She's also the granddaughter of the real Maria and Captain Georg Von Trapp.
She wasn't as warm and cuddly as Julie Andrews was. There was definitely a level of discipline. We had to behave and be in proper manner.
Just like in the movie.
They're gone!
The real Maria and Captain Von Trapp escaped the Nazi regime, fleeing their native Austria. But they didn't traverse the Alps with their instruments in tow.
They took a train, pretending they were going hiking for the day, and went to Italy. They left with literally just their backpacks. They had a whole concert tour organized in the States, and they got their money advanced to them for their steamship passage fare. They knew they wanted to farm and be able to have the chance to grow their own food. And when they came up here and saw this property, they said, this is it. This is what they want.
The family eventually turning their home into a hotel. Now celebrating its 75th anniversary, the Von Trapp Family Lodge and Resort now owns nearly 3,000 acres of sustainable farmland, grazed by their own Highland cows and sheep. They produce their own maple syrup, one of Vermont's main exports, and operate a clean craft beer brewery, the largest in Vermont, fueled by their natural spring water. But it's the family history ingrained in the land that keeps crowds coming back for more.
My grandmother started skiing when she was around 50 years old. And in this photo, she would have been around 62 years old, I want to say. So there were two boys, Rupert and Werner, that went to the 10th Mountain Division and were fighting in Europe. And so all the girls were working on the farm. That's how we all grew up, just working and taking care of everything that needed to be taken care of. So this is our family cemetery. Very traditional Austrian cemetery with ornamental ironwork for the grave markers, the flowers on the graves. And Georg and Maria are in the middle here. So this chapel was built by Werner von Trapp after he came back from World War II. He was with troops and he prayed and said, if I make it out of this war alive, I will build a chapel to Mary, our Mother of Peace. And it took him, I think, over 7 years to build it. But this is a really, really special place.
And guys, we are now here, yes, with the Highland cows, but also with Christina Von Trapp-Frame. And, you know, we just saw how special this place is to your family. But Christina, you were telling us that you actually didn't know what The Sound of Music was till you were fairly older.
No, I had no idea. I just knew that we had a farm, we had recreation here with cross-country skiing and hiking, and we invited guests to enjoy our beautiful property.
Had to be a pretty big surprise when you found out what your family name meant.
Well, it was kind of odd. I was like, well, that's kind of what my family did, but this is what we do now. But it is amazing what our family did and stood for.
And now you have these beautiful Highland cows behind us, but they're more than cute. They actually serve a big purpose on the farm.
Absolutely. Everything serves a purpose here. The cattle rotate graze between about 7 different pastures, and that means that we don't have to mow, and they stay ahead of all the pesticides. We don't have to use any pesticides, and they stay ahead of the bugs. And because they're Scotch Highland cattle, they grow an extra coat of hair in the winter, so they don't need a barn. So you can view them all year round, and we just feed them hay in the winter.
Christina, thank you so much. You've been so welcoming. Your lodge and resort is absolutely gorgeous. We've been having such a blast here today. And we're not done yet because we have some sweet treats straight from the lodge and farm coming your way. That's in a little bit.
Coming our way, really? Literally coming our way? Did you send them here to the studio for us, Maggie? Just checking.
Don't worry, I got your back. I'll take care of you guys.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so very much.
That was really fun.
I have a family, a friend whose family goes there on a regular basis every year and says it's a fascinating lodge and the history that we saw.
Spectacular. So much to do as well.
The anonymous chef serving up a new memoir. Lama Hassan has that story. Good morning again, Lama.
Yeah, good morning again, George. She is anonymous, often obscuring her face with a burger emoji. We have altered her voice to conceal her identity. She says it gives her the freedom to write honestly and openly about what she says is happening behind the scenes in restaurants. And for the first time, sitting down with us to talk all things food. And boy, does she dish out some good advice.
She is the anonymous author and social media sensation so many foodies are salivating about.
Your work has been compared to a sort of cross between Anthony Bourdain and Lena Dunham.
It blows my mind.
With a moniker so cheeky, we couldn't possibly mention it on morning TV, so we'll just call her Chef. We can't show her face or share her real voice, but you'll often catch her hiding online behind that burger emoji.
For someone that overthinks things, like the anonymity is just like this nice freedom thing, liberating thing of being able to not overthink things too much and to be authentic. I don't have any interest in having like my face or name attached to something.
Chef penning her debut memoir, Tart, Misadventures of an Anonymous Chef in just 6 months. She serves up a tantalizing tell-all, writing wittily and sarcastically about all things food and sex.
There's like this whole world that exists with amazing characters and such crazy energy that I was just so sort of excited by it that was what energized me to write about it.
Chef also revealing what it's like being a rare woman in the male-dominated restaurant world.
Yes, Chef, I'm almost there. It's not about how big your muscles are. It's about how quick you can be. It's not something that men are born with. If anything, like women in general outside of the chefing industry cook more than men anyway, so it's not something that they are inherently better at.
The 27-year-old lifting the lid on what happens in the underbelly of some of London's finest restaurants and behind kitchen doors.
I was suddenly the only woman in a room with 5-6 men, and then you suddenly are hanging out with people that you wouldn't otherwise, and you're finding common ground and you're having a great time, and that is the thing that makes it exciting.
Now she's dishing up the insider scoop on how to dine like a pro. Let's talk about all things food. Since you're a connoisseur, when to never order at a restaurant?
Always order more than you can eat, so you can try different things. Always order something that you've never had before. Eat with people who eat like you do, who have the same appetite or curiosities that you do within food, and then just pick a good restaurant and you just go wild.
What should customers never do in a restaurant?
Be rude. People that work in restaurants are working really long, hard hours. So be polite and you can make someone's whole shift easier. And you'll probably get better service. Don't be late. If you are late to your table, that can affect the shift of the chefs of the front of house, and mess up their timing. So be on time.
And if you're wondering what she looks for when choosing a restaurant, believe it or not, it is the seating. She wants to be comfortable when tucking into a meal and, of course, the company. And if you would like to take a bite out of her debut memoir, Tart, Misadventures of an Anonymous Chef, it's available now. Guys, chef's kiss.
That's what we heard. Thank you, Lama. Yeah, I'm hearing rave reviews from the producers as well. It's a must-read, apparently.
Really interesting. Thank you, Lama.
Let's head back to Maggie Rulli in Stowe, Vermont for our series 50 States in 50 Weeks. Hey again, Maggie.
Hey, Michael, good morning again. We are having so much fun here in Vermont, aren't we? We're all enjoying the beautiful fall foliage. Millions of people come here every year just to see these views. So don't worry, this morning, guys, we're bringing the gorgeous views straight to you. You can just sit back, enjoy yourself as we show you Vermont in 90 seconds.
Welcome to Vermont, the Green Mountain State. Small in size, but rich in beauty and history. Known for its early progressive policies and independence, Vermont helped lay the groundwork for American democracy. In fact, before joining the Union as the 14th state, Vermont operated as its own sovereign nation for 14 years. The Republic of Vermont, as it was originally called, had its own constitution that abolished slavery nearly a century before the rest of the country, expanded voting rights to black men, and had its own currency and militia.
And cheer, cheer, the Green Mountaineer.
The Green Mountain Boys, a fearless militia led by Ethan Allen, fought to defend Vermont's land and played a key role in winning the Revolutionary War. The state is home to famous musicians like Grace Potter, Noah Kahn, and Fish. And in 2000, Vermont became the first state to legalize civil unions and provide same-sex couples with greater rights. In 1968, it became the first to ban billboards, preserving the state's scenic beauty. And that beauty is undeniable. Just ask the over 2 million leaf peepers that visit the state each year to catch a glimpse of its fall foliage. Its beauty and sweet treats bring visitors back year after year, like cheese, ice cream, and of course, maple syrup. As the #1 producer of maple syrup in the U.S., Vermont is sure to leave you with a sweet impression.
So guys, now we get to talk maple syrup. It is sweet treat time. I'm so excited. I'm here with Chris Poacher. You are the leader of educational tours here at the Von Trapp Family Lodge and Resort. And we just heard that Vermont is the lead producer of maple syrup here in the country. But my question is, how do you actually make maple syrup?
Maggie, we drill into our sugar maples. We hammer in a hollow metal spout.
This is what you use, incredible.
Hang a bucket on the hook, gather our maple sap, bring it down to our sugar house, boil it down in our wood-fired evaporator. 40 gallons of sap makes 1 gallon of syrup.
So this is precious right here, what we're looking at.
Vermont
this is
gold.
Sweet and Vermont gold. I like that. But you were explaining this to me, I didn't realize this, that there are different types of maple syrup.
That is correct.
Sort of see the different colors right here. What do they all mean?
Yep. So this is our sample, but these are our ones that we grade with. Golden in color, delicate flavor, amber in color, rich in flavor, dark in color, robust flavor.
And things like the environment, when you tap, can all depend and make different flavors based on what happens in the environment. Incredible. So, which one do I get to try today? I'm just going to jump to it, okay? I've been staring at maple syrup all morning. Okay, amber rich. And can you explain what this tastes like?
It has a rich, buttery flavor. Amber in color.
Okay, as I'm just here drinking pure maple syrup this morning, I don't want you guys to feel left out. We have some maple syrup for you back in New York. I believe it's the amber rich one as well.
Correct.
So please, take some sips. I am seeing maybe vanilla, caramel. What do you guys think back in the studio? What are you tasting? It's
uncomfortable.
You know, we haven't tasted anything yet.
Drinking pure maple syrup in the morning?
They're making fun of me, Maggie. Take it, open it, and dip his finger in it. So he explained that.
But it's good. But it really is
Vermont gold, my friend. You heard
now
it
it's
right
yours.
from Maggie. Well, Maggie, thank you, and thank everybody there. I mean, really incredible. That syrup is like wine, actually, the way you got to set it
Nobody
up.
wants that now.
Sam, that's all you. Coming up, best-selling author Nicholas Sparks is here to talk about his new book. There he is.
We're back now with author Nicholas Sparks, who is one of the most loved guests on this show.
Yep.
Honestly, everything you touch is gold. Every book is a New York Times bestseller.
And yeah, and this one, here we go again, guys. This one is about to be released. It's called Remain. It was written with M. Night Shyamalan, which I love this combination.
Right, it's fun.
So when I think of you, obviously, I think of love story, maybe a little tragic. When I think of M. Night Shyamalan, I think of supernatural.
Right.
So please share the description of Remain, or did I just do it?
That's it, right? That's exactly right. It says right here, it is a supernatural love story. And I'm not going to tell you which one did which part. But obviously, right.
How can we figure it out?
What can you tell us about the characters and what happens?
It was really neat. It's a guy, he's an architect. He goes to build a house for a friend in a nice New England town and gets into the house where he's going to be staying, and things begin to happen.
Wow.
And it's got a lot, right? It's little Nicholas Sparksian with the love story.
Yeah.
It's got a little mystery. And of course, it's with M. Night Shyamalan, so it's got the big twists.
Yeah, how did you guys come together? What a great
combination.
combination.
How did that even happen?
It's such a funny thing, right? It's one of those Hollywood things, and I hear this all the time. My people are in Hollywood, and he has people, hey, let's get these two together and have them do something.
Really?
Right? So, but this actually came through, right? It's one of 100 that came through. And it was funny, we decided that we were going to meet, and the goal of that first meeting was not only to see whether we wanted to work with each other, but because we're at the age where things can be more trouble than they were. You're like, I don't need any more stress.
People understand that, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it's not easy, we're out.
And so at that meeting, we said the goal was he came up with a story that would work for his audience and mine as a novel and a film. I did the same thing. Came up with an original story, both of our genres, novel and film. We literally pitched each other our stories. We chose night, and we hammered out pretty much all the majority of the concepts that became Remain. 14 months later, he said, I'm going to make it as a film. I said, okay. I guess I'll write it as a novel.
That's fantastic. All right, so the book comes out now. The movie's out next year. You just called him Night, which is totally cool. Is that what people call M. Night Shyamalan?
Well, I do. I heard that on the set.
And what was that like? What was that experience like for you?
You know, it is It's a joy. It is really a joy. We've both been around for 3 decades, right? And I've worked with a lot of directors in the past. Been a huge M. Night fan. If you're a fan, you're like, how does he do what he does, right? And to see someone who's so good at what he does, you know, work with the cast or work with all of the crew to get camera right and lighting right and storyboarding. It was a
like
marvelous,
a masterclass, right?
It was. I mean, and that's a joy, right? I've been doing this a long time, so let's add something fun and unique, and that's what this experience was.
We all love his work, and I think The Sixth Sense might be certainly one of the most well-known things that he's ever done. And I understand that that film inspired a character.
Sure. Well, that film inspired a character in one of my previous novels, Safe Haven. It was funny. That was a nod to Night Shyamalan. There was a secondary character in Safe Haven, and by the end of the novel, you don't know. Was she there? Was she not there? Was it a ghost? Was it a figment of the imagination?
Oh, it's sort of meant to be.
And so it was my nod
put
to
it
Night.
into the universe.
Here's what's funny, though. So that was my nod to Night. But years ago, back in the 90s, when they were doing the script for The Notebook, one of the writers they approached to adapt The Notebook for screen, M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know why he couldn't do it? Because he was doing The Sixth Sense.
All right, we got to stop. I wish we could go all day. Your pre-order of the copy remain now. You can do that now. It'll be released on the 14th. Nicholas sets out his new book tour next week. Can't wait for that.
And then
we'll
look for the movie, everybody.
I
Remain.
loved this moment.
What a day, what a morning. Take care.